Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome back to my channel. So if you've seen my last video, you know that I got into 10 colleges. Ta-da! And today's video is just going to be about my college elimination process and where I'm going to be going in the end. So the things that I thought about as I was deciding between these schools was essentially like school size, school location, the major, like the reputation of the major at that school, the reputation of the school itself, and obviously financial aid, and a plus would be like school spirit. Like obviously you want to go to a hype college, like come on, it's college. So those are some of the things I was thinking about. I didn't write it all down, like I kind of like just kept it in my head, but that would also be a really good idea to like write down a pros and cons list as you're deciding through colleges. Keep that in mind. Just saying. So yeah, let's get started. The first school that I ultimately decided to deny was UF, University of Florida, and that's because first of all, it's a public and out-of-state school, so I basically got no money from them, and the reason why I applied in the first place was because of their dental acceleration program. Like it's a really popular, really good, well-known program, but I didn't know until after I applied that you could only apply to it until you were a sophomore, like until you had finished at least a year of college at Florida. So to me, that was like not a risk worth taking because I want to save as much money as possible during my undergraduate years. So not knowing that I would be able to go to the dental program, like without it being like a concrete yes you can go, it just wasn't a risk worth taking since it would be so expensive just for that 1 year even, and to continue on, that I didn't want to be in so much debt and stuff. So even though it's a great school, great community, it has great school spirit and great area, it just financially, that's the most important aspect to me, so couldn't really do UF, so that was out. The next school that I ultimately decided against going to was Baylor University. So I decided against Baylor because, again, financial reasons. It is a great school in a great area, perfectly sized, they have a really good pre-med track there. But in the end, like, they didn't give me enough money. Like, they ended up adding more to my award, so I did end up getting more money from them, but it still just wasn't enough for me to feel comfortable going there, and then continuing on with schooling afterwards, just because I had other options that made it a little bit cheaper for me to go to. So this one was out as well. The next one was Adelphi University. So actually, this one gave me really good financial aid. So the reason why I denied this one is because I applied to their dental program as well, but I did not get into that. So it kind of fell off priority wise, it fell off my list. So it wasn't as enticing for me to go to. Like, it's in New York, yes, but the community itself, like the whole school atmosphere, I just didn't think would fit well for me. Like, it's a really good school, but it's just a little bit too small, a little bit too secluded, and it's not really somewhere I imagine myself to be if it weren't for something like a dental program. So again, even though they had really good financial aid, the school environment itself wasn't a good match for me. Okay, so the next one was Northeastern. Northeastern is right in the middle of Boston, and it has great opportunities and a lot of foundational stuff that like I could get myself involved in, that it's like so widespread. You could do literally anything there. They had a health science college that like specifically catered to whatever I wanted to do in the pre-med track. So it was really, really good, except again, financial aid. So I didn't get as much as I expected I would from them. So again, it kind of fell off my list because the reason why I applied to Northeastern was mainly because of financial reasons. I thought that they would give me a little bit more, but ended up not happening. So even though it's a good school, in a great area, and I have a lot of friends that go there, it's just not something I needed to spend too much money over. Okay, And the next one after that was Purdue University. So I eliminated Purdue, both for financial and area, like location reasons. Purdue's a great school, has an amazing reputation, but for my purposes, like for a pre-med person, it's not the strongest school per se. They're more of like an engineering business focused school, like that's where they're ranked higher in. And so even though they have a really good health science college, it just, first of all, they didn't give me enough money to like for me to feel comfortable going to, and Purdue was also in like not in a good location that I liked. Like the nearest city is like not, you can't go there without traveling a few hours by car, and it's just like I would rather be closer to a city because that's just like my comfort zone. So Purdue, even though it's an amazing school and I'm so lucky that I got in, just the environment wise and my end result wise, it just wasn't the wisest choice for me to be spending all this money on. So this is out as well. So if I spread this out, the next option that I removed was UTK, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And that is because, yes, this school was my state school, and was a backup. I was going to go to this school if I couldn't attend other schools due to financial reasons, and these options gave me like really good options. So even though UTK is a really good school, it's in a pretty decent area, and I know a lot of people going there and who go there, like basically everyone I know goes there. Like a lot of people from my area go to UTK, so it's not a problem, and I also have family there, so it's like it would be a really familiar area for me, and I would have no trouble whatsoever fitting in there. But it is a state school, and I do want to branch out a little bit more, so I did not decide to go to UTK just because, you know, it was my backup and it wasn't really a priority for me to attend there because of these options. So this is out as well. Okay, so the last four. This was a hard decision, but ultimately I did decide to take out Villanova as well. I really did love Villanova. Like, I applied primarily because of the dental program that I applied to. And even though I didn't get into the dental program, like, I was seriously considered going to Villanova just because, like, the campus is amazing. It's right by a major city. School spirit is amazing. It's a perfect size. It's not too big, not too small. And, you know, like, everything about it was so appealing. But they gave me a pretty decent financial aid award, like, honestly, more than I thought they would, considering, like, the type of institution that it is. But I did decide not to go there just because, like, I did not get into the dental program, and there wasn't really an enticing enough end result. So, like, there's no reason for me to be spending so much money to go to Villanova for no specific reason when I could go somewhere else for cheaper, for the exact same results, if that makes sense. So again, I'm just focusing on like lessening as much debt as I can, just because, you know, I do plan on doing more schooling afterwards, so I need to save as much as I can now. So Villanova is out. So that leaves us with our top three. And let me tell you, it was super hard to decide between these three because they each have something that I value so much about them. Like, that's why I fell in love with each of these schools. But I did have to make a decision. And the next decision that I had to make to narrow it down to my top two was eliminating Emory. So when I visited Emory, I was head over heels. Like, the campus is so pretty, it's beautiful, it's in an amazing area, like right by downtown Atlanta, and like Atlanta is the hub for Koreans. Like, let me tell you, like, we love Atlanta. Literally everything is there, and it is just the best place to be for an Asian like me. So and also Emory has an amazing reputation. Like, I've been wanting to go to Emory for so long now. Like, it's been on my list since way back then, like way back when. But ultimately, like, it wasn't because I got into Oxford instead of Emory, and because either way, even if I went into Oxford, I'd still be graduating out of Emory, so I didn't really care about that. But it was more the fact that I had these two options, which just had a little bit more value toward the end result, which I'll explain later. But Emory ultimately, like, they did give me some financial aid, and it was decent enough for me to attend, and for the amount that it is and how much they normally don't give out, like, I actually got a pretty good amount that I was okay with. But in the end, like, it was a little bit more to an education that wasn't exactly like advancing me any further, unlike these two. So I did have to deny Emory with a very heavy heart, but I did have to deny Emory just because it just had a little bit less advantages than either of these two options. Okay. And so we're down to the last two, and it took me so long to decide between these two. Like, I was going back and forth for weeks, and I could not make up my mind. Like, I just did not know what to do. But in the end, I did decide to go to the Air Force Academy. And I don't know, that might be really shocking to you guys, or not, maybe not. But ultimately, I did decide not to go to Louisville just because the only reason why I'd be going to Louisville is because I got into their dental acceleration program. And yes, I was so lucky. I was so happy to have gotten into that program. But in the end, I had to really think about my future. And what I realized was that I applied to dental acceleration programs in the moment just so I could have a chance at like these kind of programs. Yes, I did have the idea that going to dental school was probably like a better fit for me, like because I knew I wanted to go medical, and just dental school was just more fitting toward my skill set and my characteristics, and it just seemed like a better fitting option. So I did decide just to go to apply to the programs and see what happened, and it made me think like my heart wasn't 100% into going to dental school. So if I decided ultimately during my education at Louisville that I did not want to go to dental school anymore, then that would pose a big problem because I am paying a lot of money just to go to Louisville since it is a public out-of-state school. So if I did end up going to Louisville and dropped out of their dental program, then my education at Louisville would kind of be pointless. Like, there wasn't any worth to me going to Louisville if it wasn't for dental school. So I did decide not to go to Louisville just because I wanted to have more options since I wasn't 100% set on dental school now. So I will be going to the Air Force Academy, and I'm very, very happy and very excited. First of all, the community is amazing. Like, I have never felt camaraderie on a campus like this before, and I just think that the bonds that will form at USAFA is just something that I'll never experience anywhere else. Like, it's different from at a normal college, and it never will be the same. Like, you can't compare the two. And it's an amazing area. Like, it's only an hour from Denver, and it's right in Colorado Springs, which is just as good. And there are so many opportunities at USAFA that I would never have gotten anywhere else. Like, you can freaking like fly a plane, you can do this jump program thing, you can do some sort of like UAS stuff. Like, there are so many opportunities at USAFA that you just like can't get anywhere else. And even after USAFA, like, they will pay for any schooling that you do afterwards so long as you get a slot, and you get no tuition. First of all, undergraduate schooling, like, there's no tuition, so you're graduating debt free, and it's just like you graduate college guaranteed with a job. Like, granted, that's in the military, but you're still guaranteed a job. Like, how many people can say that right as they're getting out of college? So the only other thing is just that you are paying back with service. So a normal length of service would be 5 years of active duty and 3 years on reserves, and then the more schooling you do is adding more years per year of extra school. So that's the only other thing. But for that, like, I would gladly do service for our country to get like for free schooling. Like, granted, that's not the only reason why, but you know, like, that's a good trade-off. Like, that's so worth it. And you'd be doing whatever you studying, like whatever you study, you'd be in some sort of job that's related to it, or anything else that you are interested in. So they do accommodate really, really well, and all in all, you are serving the country, so you're doing something really amazing, and it's just a great community that you're involving yourself into, like something that's lifelong. Like, even after you leave USAFA, you're still part of this group of people all around the country. Like, it's not just people in USAFA, it's literally people all around the country you are in a community with, and even around the world. Like, the military is just so vast and widespread. Like, it's not bad, honestly. It's pretty exciting, and it's really like a family, just a second family basically, and I'm really excited for it, and I'm ready. Well, I'm getting ready. I'm almost there. It does require me having to give up some stuff, but I think it's all worth it in the end, and I get to do some pretty cool things. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I just think the opportunities are amazing. So I'm really happy and very proud of the community that I'm about to become a part of, and I can't wait to begin my journey. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope this was super informative for you guys. I just wanted to dive in a little bit deeper about each choice, because I know there were a lot of them. So hope I answered any questions that you might have had, or any I don't know, just maybe you're curious about what the post-admissions process was like. So I hope you like this video, and see you guys next time. Bye!